Matt Henderson, PGA Director of Instruction at TPC Las Vegas, is the recipient of the Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year for his outstanding performance as a golf teacher, innovator, and coach. After earning his membership in the PGA of America in 2009, Matt focused his career on his passion for teaching and helping all levels of players. He obtained PGA certification in teaching and coaching and created a program that included monthly development and collegiate development. He created a junior development program at TPC Las Vegas called the After School Academy, providing a vehicle to get juniors started in moving through the game of golf. Passionate about continuing education for his fellow PGA professionals, Henderson has hosted numerous educational seminars for the members in the Southern Nevada chapter PGA. He has consistently been ranked among the top 5 teachers in Nevada and best young teachers by Golf Digest. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage our 2021 Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year, Mr. Matt Henderson.
All right, Matt. After graduating from the UNLV PGM program, you mainly taught for the first 6 years before taking a couple assistance men's golf coaching positions. While it's still teaching, what led you to that shift in your career?
You know, it was a massive shift. I think there was always a part of me that kind of missed out on that experience from a junior golf level. I always kind of yearned to do that. And then I really, to this day, I really enjoy working with that type of player. You know, that's like, I essentially don't feel like I'm working. You know, I mean, I just really be like developing and being around that type of player. So it was an opportunity to pursue that.
So what was the biggest adjustment for you in regards to teaching at a conventional facility versus teaching 6 to 8 players on a team at a major university?
I think time management, where like if I'm managing my own schedule and my own lesson book, you know, it's pretty straightforward, and it's always controlled. And at the college coaching level, it's really kind of the opposite of that. There is scheduled things, and then there's stuff that is just totally beyond your control of administrative duties, and then the travel, and there's always it seems like so. Sometimes we need you here at 8 o'clock at night, and then other times your workouts the next morning at 5:30. So your schedule really isn't yours anymore at that point. Now that's probably the.
So you returned to TPC Las Vegas 6 years ago as a PGA Director of Instruction following coaching. What is it about teaching students, no matter what their ability level, that makes you wake up in the morning and want to get to work as a PGA instructor?
You know, I really enjoy just talking about golf, and I enjoy how different people perceive the game and what it means to different individuals. So, you know, I think a perfect example is this is yesterday. I had a tour player who just won Canadian Tour Q School down here. Actually, I had a tour player. I had a good junior. I had a total beginner, and then I had about kind of a 10 handicap club player at a country club in Las Vegas. And I mean, just a total huge wide span. And golf means it's just so much different to each of those individuals, of where, you know, it's maybe leisure activity, or it's livelihood, or it's just they just really like, you know, watching golf on TV, or they like reading golf books. And so just a wide array of personalities that you meet. That's kind of what gets me going with it.
Who are some of your mentors that have helped develop your teaching methods and philosophies and help you become a better instructor?
You know, honestly, it started at a very probably early age. Like one of my very first golf lesson, I grew up in Wyoming, so it's not really the golf mecca of the United States. But there was a gentleman who came up from Southern California every summer, and then he would winter in Palm Desert. And he brought with him a whole wealth of golf history, and one of his big things was Ben Hogan. And I mean, I think I was all of 7 or 8 or somewhere in that range, 8, maybe 9, and literally handed me a copy of 5 lessons.
The 500,
Yeah, and that was my first introduction to golf. And he's like, go home and read this and do that. And so I became, even at that age, like, wow, okay, there's a whole depth of history. And so it started with kind of the Hogan mystique. I was able to be very fortunate and get to meet gentlemen like Mr. Mike Davis, and was around that at UNLV. And then I was very fortunate from the internship standpoint, and I got to be around Dave Pelz. I actually got to work for Dave Pelz. And that branched into basically a whole deluge of, when I was traveling across the country doing that, I saw pretty much everybody you could name in the top 50 list teach, and I got to spend time around them. And so it's just such a wealth of philosophy, and very fortunate to be able to do that.
You frequently invite young professionals and coaches to shadow you and are passionate about continuing education. Why is that so important to you?
Well, as kind of as everybody else has said, I think that's what we're here for. I had 3 gentlemen help me, what the one mentioned before, and 2 other gentlemen when I was trying to play my golf in a small town, and so they were it for me, and they paid it forward. And other PGA professionals have been so beneficial with their time, and I just can't think of doing anything different. And I've had 5 either future professionals or current director of instruction reach out to me in the last month to observe me teach. And I tell you, every time it happens, I just can't believe someone would want to come watch me teach. But 2, you know, I don't necessarily get nervous when the guys that are already in the industry. But the UNLV students that come up, like, honestly, I don't know, I have a little bit of nervousness about the lesson. I want the lesson to be very well formatted. I want it to be perfect. I want them to see such a great product, because I think it's just so important to get to that.
With technology always evolving, how beneficial has it been utilizing video and technology like TrackMan with your students, and where do you see it evolving into the future?
So technology is, I think it's been a fantastic thing. I think the interesting thing about it is the clientele already has almost a pre-education about it now that didn't used to exist. Like they have, we see the TrackMan numbers on golf coverage now, and so there's an evolving understanding of that from our clientele base at our clubs. And I think the huge thing with it right now is really information transfer to the student of, I remember taking a golf lesson and be like, okay, he said 3 or 4 things, and I was like, maybe I'm going to get one of. And with everything that we have now, with all of these platforms like Edufy and everything, like the information transfer, and I think this is really where it's going to be better in the future, but especially since we all have smartphones and cameras on us now, like the ability to transfer information from student to instructor in between lesson, like that's something I've really branched into in the last year, and I think that is just going to get exponentially huge in coming time. Instead of that one shining moment of this lesson and then we're here and done, now it's this whole continuing relationship of, okay, am I moving forward correctly? Is this good? And I really think that's where it's going to start shining.
Well, Matt, that's outstanding and great work. We want to congratulate you again on being our Teacher of the Year.
Well, thank you.